Okay, I'm going to begin with a little show and tell. I brought this out at the party last night, and this is what David called when I introduced the idea as the devil's workshop or something, or the devil's work. But here, I know we don't do electronic instruments, but here it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's not quite ready yet, but this is a Stratocaster body style, custom built electric acoustic hybrid guitar with two jazz humbuckers, an LR Baggs bridge, and an LR Baggs preamp in it. And it's going to do wonderful things when we plug it in, which is next week. And it'll take me a couple of years to really get proficient on those six strings, but I can probably do a little. But so there it is. So
So it's
that's
a
for David,
straddle.
just to spite
So,
him.
so it's a strat-o-lay,
We
right?
could call it. We've thought of several things to call it, but a Stratolady is not bad. But
Is it
that's
is the sixth string tuned high or like a
low.
no, there's not a
It's linear.
ukulele string on it.
It's G A. Sorry, it's A D G C A E. So the four high strings are the same as a ukulele. Then there's two bass strings on there, but
I think
it's a
that may be
different.
the same as the Latin American instrument I was
Yes,
trying to remember.
that is. It's like a Mexican instrument or a South Andean instrument. It's
Yeah,
very
I was trying
small.
to remember the name of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Kinko?
Okay,
Anyway,
carry on.
I'm not going to play it, but it's going to be really super look like copper. Oh, it's going to be awesome. And
Can you, can you say pedal board?
yeah, three pedals, please. But we and a Moog synthesizer ring on my finger, but we won't go there. Let's go back to the acoustic. And this is a really simple song from 1934 by Jimmy Davis. The background of this is I was watched Paper Moon with Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal for the first time, and this was in the background. I thought, this is a great song. So here we go. It's called Nobody's Darling But Mine. Come and sit by my side, little darling. Come and lay your sweet head close to mine. Promise me that you'll never be nobody's darling but mine. Be nobody's darling but mine, love. Be honest, be faithful, be kind, and promise me that you will never be nobody's darling but mine. Dee, 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 dee. Da, 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 dee, 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 dee. Da, dee, 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 dee. Da, 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 da. You're as sweet as the flowers in the springtime. You're as pure as the dew on the rose. And I'd rather be somebody's darling than a poor boy that nobody knows. Be nobody's darling but mine, love. Be honest, be faithful, be kind, and promise me that you will never be nobody's darling but mine, and promise me that you will never be nobody's darling but mine. Be nobody's darling but mine.
lovely. Honky tonk songs in an English accent are always, the best. Mary Jane, also fresh from the honky tonk, I'm sure. Would you like to take a number? I am muting everyone. And ready for you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do a traditional song this time because we had this big discussion. Seems like on Stone Soup, we said we didn't have to do traditional songs, we could do anything. So that makes this our traditional place here, but probably we still do whatever we feel like, even at this area. But I chose a traditional song because we had that big conversation. And so this one's called The Streets of Laredo, a cowboy song. Laredo, as I walked out in Laredo one day, I spied a poor cowboy wrapped up in white linen, as cold as the clay. I see by your outfit that you are a cowboy. These words he did say as I boldly stepped by. Come sit down beside me and hear my sad story. I'm shot in the breast and I know I must die. It was once in the saddle I used to go dashing. Once in the saddle I used to go gay. First to the dram house and then to the card house. Got shot in the breast and I'm dying today. Oh, beat the drum slowly and play the pipe slowly. Play the dead march as you carry me on. Take me out to the graveyard and throw the sod o'er me. For I'm a young cowboy and I know I've done wrong. Bring me a cup of cold water to cool my parched lips, the cowboy then said. But ere I returned, the spirit had left him, and gone to his maker, the cowboy was dead. We beat the drum slowly and played the pipe slowly. Played the dead march as we bore him along. For we all loved our comrades, so brave, young, and handsome. We all loved the cowboy, although he'd done wrong.
There's so much to say about that song.
Really?
But we take up the next hour discussing it all, so I guess we'll just.
Well, we could rake up all that, but that would be unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't hear if somebody has any real
I
insights
think only David
of a
got that
significant
joke.
nature. I have none, but somebody else does.
Centuries of precedent.
Stuart knows all about it, and we'll hear about it for the next hour. If you
Lock Hospital. Lock Hospital. Those are White Mercury. Anyway.
Suffice it to say that it was originally British, about a rake, and it was syphilis, not being shot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
That's about as efficient.
the third person doesn't appear in the original. Plus, the English versions also have a version where the woman is the one that's dying.
Yeah,
Plus, the tune is known in Ireland as the Bard of Armagh. Completely different.
yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a rich song. Thanks for tapping into it. It really is.
Yeah, there's a guy named, I think it's Mark Alkamp, something like that, does a podcast called Every Folk Song. And, naive fellow that he was, he set out to do a hour or two podcast for every song in the Roud Index before he realized how many songs that would work out to be. And that he couldn't quite do it in a lifetime, but he decided he'd give it a try anyway. And one of his episodes is on the Unfortunate Rake, which is sort of the theme title that folklorists have assigned to this family of songs. And he's kind of bizarre, honestly. He's sort of a nutcase, but he's real fun to listen to, and I recommend that.
And when people like us call somebody bizarre,
it does tell you something, a bunch of weird folks that are from Austin think he's playing. Anyway, for a good time, I recommend that. So, David Polachek is next, and I will mute everybody. All ready.
Okay. I've kept records now because I don't want to sing the same song too many times for the same group. But according to my records, I haven't sung this song for at least a month. So it's probably okay. I'm not even sure if I've done it for this session before. Anyway.
You keep a record for every song?
The ones I've done for the last month, I've kept track of.
Anyway. It's on his podcast.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, this one is an Emily Dickinson poem. And she didn't really put titles on her poems, so they're known by their first lines, which in this case is "The daisy follows soft the sun." And although it's not explicit in any way, it appears to be somewhat erotic if you look into it closely enough, because it follows the legend of the sunflower, who was supposed to be this beautiful nymph who was in love with Apollo, the sun god, and followed him across the sky, but he ignored her until she turned into a flower who still follows the progress of the sun. And Daisy was a nickname that Emily Dickinson used for herself. The tune I've chosen is the old Irish tune that in these days is known as "The Lark in the Clear Air." The daisy follows soft the sun, and when his golden walk is done, sits shyly at his feet. He waking finds the flower there. Wherefore, marauder, art thou here? Because, sir, Love is sweet. We are the flower, thou the sun. Forgive us if as days decline, we nearer steal to thee. Enamored of the parting west, the peace, the flight, the amethyst, night's possibility. The peace, the flight, the amethyst, night's possibility.
That was
Very
very nice,
nice.
but short. You want to do another one?
Ah,
Oh,
all
do it
right.
again.
Ah,
Do it backwards.
Yeah, we're all so old we won't remember the first time. So
Yeah, we're all over 70 now. Most of us.
we're 70 and we don't care.
We don't give a damn. 70 I am, and I don't give a damn. That's it. That's my new motto this year.
okay, here's a favorite tune of mine, the Three Sea Captains.
Good
Very
one.
nice. Very good. Now, I have shaken my brain up and I remember the name of that Mexican instrument I was trying to think of. It's the requinto.
That's it.
And
Right.
that's it. And I looked up the tuning. Um, the requinto is A D G C E A. That's it.
That's the
So what you
guitarlele.
have,
Yeah.
what you have is a strata quinto.
But the quinto is a very small instrument, I think, isn't it?
Not very small. I mean,
Okay. But it's acoustic.
It looks like just a small guitar,
Yeah.
and it was played by one of the famous trio Los Panchos, and the other two played regular guitars. But it's there's another instrument that's played in mariachis called the vihuela, and it's a little smaller. You'd notice that it's really small, and occasionally you get the cuatro, which almost never has four strings. I haven't quite figured it out, but the cuatro is another one that's smaller, and it's more common to Caribbean music and the
Right.
Borinqueño and Cuban music. Anyway, oh my!
That's it. You got it.
This is your guitar trivia lesson for the day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, so I'm going to do a song by the great San Francisco one-man band Jesse Lone Cat Fuller, and of course traditional Mary Jane. My new definition for folk music is if it's simple enough to play, then it's folk music. It's simple enough for folks like me to play it. So this is one of those. So it's not, I guess it's not in the very traditional sense of the word. Let's see which, yeah, that's the one. But it's definitely out of a folk tradition. So this was written and recorded by Jesse Fuller and was also recorded by the Grateful Dead. And it's a story involving a monkey who drives a train, and very amusing to young folk. And one year I did, as I often do at these things, we have this annual meeting, the Friends Yearly Meeting, and we have what we call a variety show, because people object to the term talent show because it was obvious that the participants didn't have much talent, but we had variety. And so I got into enjoying getting little kids up on the stage, and sometimes big kids, adult kids, and acting out a story, which I would sing. And we did this song one year, and it was an absolute riot. I don't know if you remember this, Stuart, but we had them all acting out the train and the monkey and the engineer, and it was just complete mayhem. And I loved it. Well, so here it is without the entertainment assist of the kids. But once upon a time there was an engineer, drove a locomotive both far and near, accompanied by a monkey who would sit on the stool, watching everything that the engineer do. Well, the big locomotive was just on time, the big locomotive, number 99. Oh dear, I don't have my cheat sheet on. I thought I could get through it without the cheat sheet, but wrong cheat sheet. I mean, I already made two big mistakes in the first verse. Oh, what the hell? It looks like I don't have a cheat sheet. What's more embarrassing? Oh, there it is. What's more embarrassing, admitting that you use a cheat sheet or not being able to find your cheat sheet? I don't know. One day the engineer wanted a bite to eat, left the monkey sitting on the driver's seat. The monkey pulled the throttle, the locomotive jumped the gun, going 90 miles an hour down the main line run. Well, the big locomotive was right on time, big locomotive coming down the line, big locomotive number 99, left the engineer with a worried mind. Phone. I'm not doing so well today. Shut up, phone. The engineer called up the dispatcher on the phone to tell him all about this locomotive was gone. Get on the wire, the operator to right, 'cause the monkey got the main line sold up tight. Well, the big locomotive coming down the line, big locomotive was right on time, big locomotive number 99. Well, left the engineer with a worried mind. Well, the switch operator got the message in time. There's a northbound limit on the same main line. Open up the switch, you gotta let him through the hole. because the monkey got the locomotive under control. That big locomotive was right on time. Big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99. He left the engineer with the worried mind. Yes, it left the engineer with a worried mind. But he was 70 and he don't care.
Hey, Terry, when the phone rings during your verse about getting on the phone, just incorporate it in the song, man. Come on. Get on your feet.
I'm not as quick as I used to be. Back when I was doing this stage review with the Quaker Kids, I probably would have thought of that. But
Yeah, that was a wild bunch.
it was indeed. And there is a YouTube video of it if you want to look it up. Anyhow, we're ready for Jeffrey Hall, I think. So I'm going to mute all and be ready for Mr. Hall. Okie dokie.
All right. So, let's see what I've got here. All right. This is called Watch Spider. A stray spider must have followed me home. A black and yellow garden spider, biggest one I've ever seen, almost tarantula length, but slenderer. She's guarding my front door. Her web could snare a murder hornet, but I can show you how to duck under. If you wish to stop by, call first, and I'll shut her in the backyard. Okay, that was pretty short. You want another one? This is kind of new. I'm still fiddling with it, but anyway. The working title for now is Discernment. In the 70s, my friends dispersed to colleges. I tramped around the world a bit, took a ferry from Spain to Morocco. Knuckles white, gripped the seat of a ramshackle bus careening through mountains to Tetuan. I scrutinized scraps of paper my guide, Abdul, had marked with riddles and monograms. I repeated the alien words. Asant, he assured me. Well done. I couldn't discern punctuation. It seemed to be everywhere. I pocketed them, Abdul's scraps of paper, blue and white, etc., torn from margins of tourist flyers. I didn't buy a jalaba, despite Abdul's urging. No one snuck up behind me. I ate the figs. Thank you.
Jalaba?
I'm 70. I don't give a fig. So.
Yeah. I know. Jalaba is that thing that it looks like a big bathrobe with a hood that they wear in Morocco, and it's made of hand woven cloth, and some are very simple and some are very expensive.
Same thing.
And it makes it hard for someone to pick your pocket too, I imagine. Okay, so Larry Vaughn, can you give us one with your rainbow guitar strap? I can see that. I can't see the guitar.
Yeah, I've had this rainbow strap before it became a symbol for something else. It's been around for a while.
And then it just got better. Okay,
It,
I'm muting it, Larry. I'm going to mute everybody. So
okay.
we'll leave it at. So now we're ready for you to unmute.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a PSA. I just happened to see this song and I thought, there's a album release concert tonight from Carrie Newcomer. And it's benefiting Austin the Sanctuary Network. If anybody's interested, I'll be glad to send you the information on it. It's at 6:00. She's releasing a new album. But this is a song that I think really deserves to be in the folk repertoire. And so get a chance to sing it. I haven't practiced it in a while. It's been a while since I picked up a guitar, actually. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this morning. Let's try this. We may never see this morning. In plain let me just play this a couple of times. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment in place or time. If not now, I see sorrow and trouble in this land. I see sorrow and trouble in this land. All the will be struggle will make the change we can. If not now, if not now, tell me when. I may never see the promised land. I may never see the promised land. And yet we take the journey and we'll walk it hand in hand. If not now, if not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment or place in time again. If not now, if not now, tell me when. every daughter, every son, every soul that's ever longed for something better, something brighter. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We never see this morning or place in time again. If not now, if not now, tell me when. It will take a change of heart. It will take a change of heart. It will take a change of heart. But miracles do happen every shining hour. If not now, if not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. If not now, tell me when. We may never see this moment in place or time again. If not now, if not now, tell me when. No. Sorry for butchering that.
It's a good song.
It may have been butchered, but it was well rendered.
It was, oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You may leave now.
I'm not complete.
Butchery is an art form too.
Watching for the hook, you know. Well, Tom, it's great to see you. And you're muted, but you're talking. Anyway, it's right. You're just in time to get on the end of the first round. So
Perfect.
I'm going to be optimistic here and mute all in anticipation of a word from Tom.
Here we go.
All
El
yours.
Mercado. El Mercado, South Austin, chapters 1 to 3, 2021. Last week I was there with Daniel Davila for his 60th birthday. Today with Stuart Hampton for his 70th cycle around the sun. Both parties kept small but enlarged with love, care, and respect. Now Stuart is waiting for Dennis in his wheelchair. They've been working together on a guitar lately, a 6-string electric acoustic melding of a Stratocaster body with electronics added for wilder, weirder, wider, deeper soundscapes, an unfinished symphony of improvised brilliance. Here he comes, Dennis sharing his 5 cancer survival, his strict religious background, morphing into spiritual searching, his calmness and quest for connection. Conversation is still legal in South Austin, so we dance between the raindrops, smile with consenting ones, and I leave for Green Man. But then suddenly, someone calls out my name. I turn around, chapter 3 begins. The table next to us has an urn with ashes in it. Wife, loved, husband number 2 to distraction. And that's him in the urns on the table at El Mercado in South Austin. Around that table, some 15 people gathered to remember in ritual the love that lives beyond fire. They asked me for a poem for remembrance, and this is it. Call a circle, see who comes, your birthing day, 5 gatherings, work, play, friends, strangers, and musicians. It is stage 5 in Austin. It will rain. You prepare for small. All who said they would come did, and more. Circles expand, ripples in waters you share, time, energy, positive connection. They stay. Sounds of conversation raised to reverse raindrops. Rain stops. laughter in the recognition of each other. They are learning each other. One they had in common walks among them all smiling. These are his tribes. He is beloved of them. Birthing is continuous. Thank you, Stuart. Happy birthday season, baby. Woo! He's muted, but who cares?
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hooray and happy birthday.
My brother from another continent.
That's so true. Down under. He's been there.
Great shirt, too. Always, always the great sartorial elegance. So, by the way, I don't know if you've continued to follow River Day, but I thought this was a great last chapter of the story, is that he said, in the end, he was quoted as saying, if I had known how kind people could be, I'd never become a hermit in the first place. I thought that was a good place to end the story. Okay, so we have come all the way back around to the birthday boy. So I will mute all for Stuart. All ready.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a beautiful story. Yeah, they were kind.
Okay, someone's not muted. Who is that? Who is it? Anyway, I think Tom followed this on the Facebook, but that at the end of the evening, I got the dead guy and I were photographed. The dead birthday guy and the live birthday guy. We were photographed together, sharing our birthday beyond life and death. Isn't that something? And thank you for your contribution as always. That was really outstanding. Okay, I'm going to do a Tom Waits song just to demonstrate that I can do more than the country calypso rhythm. I like the syncopation it says. They hang a song up in that town. You live it up, you won't live it down. So she left Monte Rio, son, like a bullet leaves a gun. With her charcoal eyes and Monroe hips, she went and took that California trip. So she said the moon was gold and her hair like wind. She said, don't look back, just come on, Jim. You gotta hold on, you gotta hold on. Take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Well, he gave her a dime-stone watch and a ring made from a spoon. Everyone's looking for someone to blame, but you share my bed, you share my name. Well, go ahead and call the cops. You know you don't meet nice girls in coffee shops. It's true. She said, baby, I still love you, but sometimes there's nothing left to do. Oh, you gotta hold on, you gotta hold on. Take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Oh, God bless her crooked little heart. St. Louis, God the best of me. I miss your broken china voice. Oh, I wish you were still here with me. Well, you build it up, you wreck it down. You burn your mansion to the ground. When there's nothing left to keep you here, and you're falling behind in this big blue world, you gotta hold on, you gotta hold on. Take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Down by the Riverside Motel, it's 10 below and falling. By a 99-cent store, she closed her eyes and started swaying. But it's so hard to dance that way when it's cold and there's no music. When your old hometown is so far away, But inside your head there's a record that's playing a song called Hold On, Hold On. You gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Hold on, hold on, you gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Hold on, hold on, you gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. Hold on, hold on, you gotta hold on, take my hand, I'm standing right here, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on, you gotta hold on, you gotta hold on.
Very nice.
Yeah, great.
Little rockabilly feel to that one, I think. There we go.
You've sung that before, Stuart.
Yes.
Where did I hear that before? I recognize it.
Tom Waits has sung it. I don't know what album it's on, but
Oh, yes. Thank you.
you're
Well,
welcome.
that's Tom Waits' voice, though, Stuart. I mean,
Wow. Well, just wait till I get my electric guitar lele on it.
oh,
Guitar Lele.
And the next time you have a bad cold,
All right, smoke the cigarettes and I'll be fine.
cigarettes and accordion, Okay, Mary Jane, you got one for us? I will mute everybody.
Yes.
Why isn't there a shortcut key for muting everybody? I don't know. Okay, all ready for you.
Well, I've been inspired by hearing Stuart's song to sing another song called Hold On. I've sung it before, but it's been a while. I'm sure it's been more than a month. So I thought this one might be a good one. It's called Keep Your Eyes on the Prize. And it's kind of to the tune of the traditional song, Keep Your Hand on the Plow. But I think it was designed for the civil rights movement, starting out with a little bit of Bible stuff. Paul and Silas found in jail, had no money to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Paul and Silas thought they were lost. Dungeon shook and the chains went off. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only thing that we did wrong was staying in the wilderness too long. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only thing that we did right was the day we began to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Freedom's name is mighty sweet. One day soon we're gonna meet. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. They got my hand on the gospel plow. Won't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Hold on, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The only chain that a man can stand is that chain of hand on hand. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. We're gonna board that big Greyhound, carrying love from town to town. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. We're gonna ride for civil rights. We're gonna ride both black and white. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. We've met jail and violence too, but God's love has seen us through. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
Oh, take me back to those days.
I love that song. Yeah. That's a movement song, that is.
Well, I like your Tom Waits song.
It's a marching song.
One time I was invited to, Liz and I were invited to do some reminiscences as a presentation for kids in a little school. They were fourth and fifth graders, maybe third, fourth, fifth. And to give us our reminiscence of the civil rights movement. And we talked about the songs we sang. And they said, somebody said, so why did you sing? And I said, well, we sang because we were scared to death.
That's right.
And singing sometimes
Courage.
the only way you get up the courage.
Courage. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so David Polachek is next. I will mute everybody. And ready for you, Dave.
Thank you. That was great, Mary Jane. Good job. This is a favorite song of mine. Song of the Sea, Days of Sail. It's called Adieu, Sweet Lovely Nancy. Adieu, sweet lovely Nancy, 10,000 times adieu. I'm going away, I'm going across the ocean, love, to seek for something new. Exchange your ring with me, dear love. Exchange your ring with me, for it might be a token of true love when I am on the sea. When I am far away from you, you know not where I am. Kind letters I will write to you from every foreign land. The secrets of your mind, dear girl, are the best of my goodwill. So let my body be where it will, my mind will be with you still. There's a heavy storm arising, see how it gathers round. we poor sailors are on the sea, are fighting for the crown. Our officers commanded us, and so we must obey, expecting every moment for to get cast away. There are tinkers, tailors, shoemakers, lie snoring fast asleep, while we poor souls on the ocean wide are plowing through the deep. There's nothing to defend us, love, or to keep us from the cold. On the ocean wide where we must fight like jolly seamen bold. And when the wars are over, there'll be peace on every shore. We'll go home to our wives and families and the girls that we adore. We'll call for liquor merrily and spend our money free. And when our money is all gone, we'll boldly go to sea. Adieu, sweet, lovely Nancy, 10,000 times adieu. I'm going across the ocean, love, to seek for something new. Come change your ring with me, dear girl. Come change your ring with me. For it might be a token of true love when I am on the sea.
That was real nice.
That was
Thank
great.
you.
I love
Yeah,
that tune.
good and salty, good and salty. Yeah. And I want to welcome Sheridan, who is, I presume, from Newfoundland, unless he's from there and is somewhere else. Sheldon says he is just here to listen, and we always are very happy to welcome our audiences too. So good to see you. And let's see. Oh, I guess I'm next. So we will mute all. And well, with my traveling and everything, I hadn't had a chance to practice this at all. So bear with me. That means it's going to be even worse than usual. I'm not sure who the author of this is, but it's to the tune of a famous Tin Pan Alley Cowboy song. It's called Ghost Chickens in the Sky. chicken farmer, he went out one dark and dreary day. He stopped to sit beside the coopage to break along the way. When all at once a rotten egg that hit him in the eye, it was a sight he dreaded. Ghost chickens in the sky. Ghost chickens in the sky. Yep. There it is. Well, the farmer had raised chickens since he was 24. Working for the colonel some 30 years or more. Raising all them chickens and sending them to fry. And now they wanted their revenge. Those chickens in the sky. Beaks were black and shiny, and their beaks were black and shiny, and their eyes were burning red. They had no meat nor feathers, 'cause them chickens they were dead. They picked the farmer up, and he died by the claw. Or they cooked him extra crispy and made him with coleslaw. Those chickens in the sky. Chickens in the sky.
That is a parody, right? Parody.
A bit over crispy, but you know.
The banjo, the banjo is such a clucking sound to begin with that it's perfect for that song.
Yes.
Okay, how about Jeffrey Hall now?
All right.
I shall mute everybody. I'm a little slow on the draw here, but I'm getting to it. Ready for Jeff.
That was a very fun piece. Thank you, Terry. Okay, so I'll do a cowboy song. So this is a pretty simple one. I hope I don't mess it up. It's Red River Valley in G on the viola. Thank you.
Good one, sir. Good one.
Great.
You finally played one I could play along with.
Well, as my Mexican friends would say, otra? You got another? Otra?
Okay, I will try. So this one, the advantage of this song for me, this tune, is it's meant to be played humorously. So hopefully the mistakes will sound like they belong. This is Clementine in the key of D. Did they come out okay?
That sounded great.
And I could play along with.
I forgot to turn original sound on, so it.
Ooh,
Anyway,
I didn't either. I forgot too. Thanks for. It might be good to get a reminder about that. I think I played 2 songs without it now.
I guess we should check it just before we start to play because I find that it turns itself off. Like if there's a change in the microphone volume or some little thing that jiggles it, it just turns off. And I find out later that I've been playing with it.
Yeah, and the button goes off so you can't see it all the time.
Right. And they
It seems like half of the time I forget to turn it on, at least for the first song.
right.
This time I forgot both
And they,
the second two.
they changed the labels on the button. Now it says,
Yeah,
if it says original sound : off, it
yeah.
means you got to turn it on.
But that hasn't bothered me at all. The issue with me is just remembering to do it in the first place.
So I guess the moral of the story is just before you start to play, check it out because who knows what's going on. Yeah. Okay, Larry Vaughn, I'm going to mute everybody and hope you'll play something. All yours, Larry.
Okay, let's play some Mr. Zimmerman. Oh, it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why. Oh, it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if you don't know by now. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. Anyhow, when the rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and think on. You're the reason I'm traveling on. Don't think twice, it's alright. It ain't no use in turning on your light, baby. Light I never know. Ain't no use in turning on your light, baby. I'm on the dark side of the road. So I wish there was something you would do or say to try to make me change my mistake. We never did too much talking. Don't think twice, it's alright. I ain't no use in calling out my name like you never did before. And it ain't no use in calling out my name. I can't hear you anymore. I'm a thinking and a wondering all the way down the road. I once loved a woman, a child I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. Don't think twice, it's alright. I walk down that lonesome road where I'm bound. I can tell, but goodbye is too good a word. So I'll just say very well. I ain't saying you treated me right. You done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my precious time. Don't think twice, it's alright.
Well, that's all right. I hope I didn't make noise. I just realized my mute was off.
I did think twice. It was all right.
Yeah.
All right, Terry.
All right.
All right.
All right, all right, all right.
So I think now we've come around to Tom Woodruff. Spirit Tom, we will.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you quite well, but I'm going to have to mute everybody first.
That's all right. That's all right.
Now you may unmute yourself, and I think we'll be able to hear you pretty well.
Hello, Charlie. Growing up with the Stones, Charlie was always the calm doer one. He's fixed beat and countenance reliable, stone face among Rolling Stones, jazz drummer among rock giants. Of course he jammed with other bands, man, with trios and quartets in jazz clubs. This made him happy, more than $1 million tours. He was most at ease among close friends, did not need to play an image, just his drum kit. And that beat, the sustain, the Stones over so many years. I had, of course, seen him behind his kit, but never got too close. Now Charlie's playing in that jazz band in the sky, and he smiles. And you got to ask, Charlie, what'd you leave behind you, man? Apart from all those horses that you loved and all that horsepower in cars you could not drive, but garage them for their museum beauty. Most likely, people will appreciate your collection of drumsticks that you use so effectively and well. Most likely, it'll be those golden memories of smoke-filled jazz nights where you jam with the silver shining lights whose jazz roots were so very different to your rock day job. The other Stones were awed with your professionalism. You were married forever and a true jazz warrior. This is what you leave behind you, the respect of your peer group, of every person who grew up with your beats and every jazz lover who ever heard you after hours. Charlie Watts, baby, Charlie Watts. The man.
I'm so
Give it to
glad.
Charlie.
I'm so glad
Okay.
you eulogize Charlie. He
Tom
deserves
caters to
credit.
the living and the dead. I like that.
Yeah, and
Equal
Charlie,
opportunity.
he looked a bit like a tough guy.
Yeah, he looked that way, but he was soft.
But he was really known as the most gentle, kind-hearted person you'll ever
That's very
meet.
true. Very true.
Here's a stupid phone. Hush,
Yeah.
phone. Hush.
Good man, Charlie.
Okay, moving along. Oh, look, there's Al. Have you got a song for us, Al?
No, not yet, but I'm working on it.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, we will expect a tune or two by and by. I mean, after all, I flubbed mine too, so yeah, you can. But anyway, it's up to you. We're always glad to have you along for the ride. Anyway, so this is kind of early in the evening, but we finished our second round, so I guess we're up for. Encores. Oh, well, there's Stuart's thumb goes up right away. It's the Jack in the Box thumb.
I'm 70 and I can do what I like.
All right.
You say.
Go ahead.
All right. Muting everyone. Okay, already.
Sorry, my mouse wasn't moving. Yes, I still have a mouse and a flip phone, so sue me. Okay. Here's a Canadian song because I like Stan Rogers. And this is called Make and Break Harbor. It's about how he wrote a whole album back in the late 60s or 70s about how the local fishing industry was dying around the Great Lakes with commercial fishing, overfishing, and so on. And there's one line in this, just so you don't misunderstand it. He says, the one lunger and I, longer and I. The one lunger is actually not a person with a one lung. It's a boat that's so old and kind of the engine's so clapped out, it goes chunker, chunker, chunker. So it sounds like someone gasping. So he's not talking about his father, he's talking about his boat. How still lies the bay in the light western edge, which blows from the crimson horizon. Once more we tack home with a dry empty hold, saving gas with the breezes so fair. She's a kindly Cape Islander old, but still sound, but so lost in the long line of shadow. Make and break and make do, but the fish are so few that she won't be replaced should she founder. It's so hard not to think of before the big war, when the cod went so cheap and so plenty. Foreign trawlers go by now with long-seeing eyes, taking all where we seldom take any. And the young folk don't stay with the fisherman's ways. Long ago they all moved to the cities, and the ones left behind, old and tired and blind, can't work for a pound or a penny. In Make and Break Harbor the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry are blown away, lost and forgotten. I can see the big draggers have stirred up the bay, leaving lobster pots smashed at the bottom. Can they think it don't pay to respect the old ways that make and break men have not forgotten? But we still keep our time to the turn of the tide, and this boat that I built with my father still lifts to the sky, the one longer, and I still talk like old friends on the water. In make and break harbor the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry are blown away, lost and forgotten. In make and break harbor the boats are so few, too many are pulled up and rotten. Most houses stand empty, old nets hung to dry are blown away, lost and forgotten.
Great, thank you.
Stan the man, Stan Rogers, great songwriter.
Yeah.
Terry,
Always
can I
good
do
to have
one?
a stand right. Oh, Tom? Yes, of course.
Wait, this is historical.
Okay, hold on, Tom. I'm going to mute everybody. Well, actually, everybody is mute except a couple of them. I'm going to mute everybody anyway, just for good measure to be sure that they know to be quiet. All right, Tom.
Okay, this is a historical one about tomorrow's newspaper in Austin. Tomorrow's newspaper will tell you that the area around the Victory Grill and Kenny Dorham's backyard, where I work with Word Jazz, is going to be called a cultural district for the Black areas of Austin. Okay, so on Thursday night, I was with 11 other musicians. They were musicians. I'm just a poet. And we did a thing called Jazz Outside, and it was all improvised for 2 hours. So this is a dedication to the future of Austin's surviving living cultures. It's called 11 Dervishes. Yeah, 3 forms of keyboards, man. Hyper drum kit allied with booming bass line, saxophone, trumpet with effects, guitars, and a mixer man who modulated the levels so each of them could be heard, man, as well as the words, man, which slid in between sound storms. Of course, Astral Travel Orchestra was also Jazz Outside, and this listening exercise at Kenny Dorham's backyard on East 11th Street was and is a continuing cultural cooperative community of musical luminaries. For your ears are oracles for oracles, and each signal finds ally and responses. Scattered applause encourage the levitating harmonies to swing in between crescendos. East Side Free Jazz, Kenny Dorham's backyard, celebrates its continuing home for harmonic players. Pulse of life rises in Austin, healing emotions rising in Austin, of all present, and the air outside now fresh and blessed. When you return, it will be different again. Now that is free jazz outside, man. Woo! Austin, living. Read your paper tomorrow. It's gonna be happening.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm so glad to be back here.
We're glad you're back, Terry,
Yeah.
and your size in your front.
Okay. Any more volunteers? Mary Jane, muting everybody. Already.
I'm going to do another traditional song called Little Moses. I learned it from Joan Baez, but I think the Carter family also did this song, so it's pretty old. Another Bible-ish type of a song. sweet infant was there. Before it was dark, she opened the ark and found sweet infant was there. And away by the water so blue, the infant was lonely and sad. She took him in pity and thought him so pretty, and it made little Moses so glad. He called him her own, her beautiful son, and sent for a nurse that was near. He called him her own, her beautiful son, and sent for a nurse that was near. And away by the river so clear, she carried the beautiful child to his own tender mother, his sister and brother. Little Moses looked happy and smiled. His mother so good, done all that she could to rear him and teach him with care. His mother so good, done all that she could to rear him and teach him with care. And away by the sea that was red, little Moses, a servant of God, while in him confided, the sea was divided, as upwards he lifted his rod. And the Jews safely crossed, while Pharaoh's host was drowned in the waters and lost. And the Jews safely crossed, while Pharaoh's host was drowned in the waters and lost. And away on a mountain so high, the last one that ever might see, while it is victorious, his hope was most glorious, he'd soon o'er the Jordan be free. When his labor did cease, he departed in peace and rested in the heavens above. When his labor did cease, he departed in peace and rested in the heavens above.
Good one, good one.
Thank you, Mary Jane.
You're welcome.
Other encores? David, I'll mute everybody. So please proceed, David.
That was great, Mary Jane. I really liked that song. Interestingly enough, there's another song about Moses called The Birthing of Moses. It's a Dublin street song by Zosimus. Makes a nice contrast. Look it up. This one is a new favorite of mine. I just learned it this year. It's called 'Twas on One April Morning. I believe it's English. on one April morning, just as the sun was rising. Was on one April morning, I heard the small birds sing. They were singing Lovely Nancy, for love it is a fancy, and sweet were the songs that I heard the small birds sing. Young men are false and full of all deceiving. Young men are false and they seldom do prove true. For they're roving and they're ranging, and their minds are always changing, seeking to find out some other girl that's new. Young men, don't you spend all your long, long time in courting. Young men, don't you spend your long, long time in vain. For I don't intend to marry, I'd rather longer tarry. Young men, don't you spend all your single life in vain. Oh, if I had but my own heart in my keeping. Oh, if I had but my own heart back again, safe in my breast I'd tether and lock it up forever, and pray it would never stray far from me again. Was on one April morning, just as the sun was rising. On one April morning, I heard the small birds sing. They were singing Lovely Nancy, for love it is a fancy, and sweet were the songs that I heard the small birds sing.
Very nice little ditty that.
Hey,
Thank you.
there's the traditional song for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought of a nice little traditional English ditty myself, so I'm gonna do it. It's not too long. Let's see. Oh. Hopefully this is the right key. We'll find out. It's the right key, but the wrong harmonica. Oh, no wonder that's an A, B, C. I got my little harmonica thing where I have them in order of the key, but they got to be in the right slot. Okay. Get in there, will you? That's better. Yeah. Young women, they run like hares on the mountain. Young women, they run hares on the mountain. But if I were a young man, I'd soon go a-hunting with me. Right, fall-a-diddle-day, roll, right, fall-a-diddle-day. sing like birds in the bushes. Young women, they sing like birds in the bushes. And if I were a young man, I'd go beat them bushes till we ride fa-diddle-day-ro, ride fa-diddle-day. Women, they swim like ducks in the water. Young women, they swim like ducks in the water. And if I was a young man, I'd soon go swim after to me right fa-diddle-day-ro, right fa-diddle-day. Women, they bloom like laurel in springtime. Young women, they bloom like laurel in springtime. And if I were a young man, I'd soon go and pluck some to me right fa-diddle-day-ro, to me right fa-diddle-day.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Mary Jane. Thank you, Al. Thank you, David. Thank you.
Anybody else want to do a song before we go into the Roy Rogers finale?
I got another one if no one else is doing it. It's my birthday weekend.
Alrighty.
This is a not a long one.
Oh, okay.
Then it's a. You're gonna mute.
I'm not going to bother to mute everybody. You guys just be
Okay,
quiet.
everyone mute yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
This is done before. It's a Scottish guy wrote a couple of years ago. It's a bit of a political song, and it's about the environment. Thought it's appropriate with the hurricane coming in, and about the burden their generation's putting on the next generation, and about political nonsense and science. It's called God and the Orange Clown. Two guesses who the Orange Clown is. There we go. Mary Jane, you need to mute. That's okay. When my earphones are in, I can hear things. It's amazing. When your forests turn to ash, when your fields all turn to dust, when your islands are awash, how will you choose? Who will you trust? When the mudslides hurtle down, who will you turn to for a course? When your greens all fade to brown, who will you blame? Who will you curse? And will you go to church and pray, leaving your children to atone? This world we've left in disarray is not God's work. It is your own. When tornadoes wreck your town, when the tempest scours your coast, will you still heed the Orange Clown? Will you still cheer his every boast? And when it's time to make a choice, whose truth, whose lies will you believe? Will you ignore the braying voice? Will you refuse to be deceived? Or will you go to church and pray, leaving your children to atone? This world you've left in disarray is not God's work. It is your own. So good Christians all awake, fight the tide or surely drown. For your blessed children's sake, drive away the orange clown. For when at last the seas run dry, and when the rocks melt in the sun, when you can no more deny, then you will see what you have done. Then will you go to church and pray, leaving your children to atone? This world you've left in disarray is not God's work. It is your own. Then will you go to church and pray, leaving your children to atone? This world you've left in disarray is not God's work. It is your own.
God bless you, Stuart. God bless you, man.
And thanks for leaving us with a sacred number.
It's not Sunday yet.
He stole a line from Robbie Burns there. The line about when the rocks melt in the sun. Look it up.
You know, that's also, of course, a line from many traditional songs. I thought it was originally biblical.
Yeah. Yes, true.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Some trails are happy ones, the other trails are blue. It's the way you ride the trail that counts. There's a happy one for you. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trail to you till we meet again.
Yay, yay, Terry, yay, Jeffrey, yay, Mary Jane, yay.
Happy trails, everybody.
So long, buckaroos. Until next time. No, nothing going on Sunday that I know of, but the following Sunday is the first Sunday of the month, and thus Celtic session, and of course we'll have one of these sessions on
Irish,
Saturday as well. And also, there's Paul Clark's Folksel session on Wednesday, and I think he's doing another one this week on
The one on Wednesday is going to be interesting because it's got a theme, and the theme is the color gray, which you somehow either have to work into a song, pick a song that's got gray in it, or somehow justify in some convoluted way.
Many long years ago. I'll see if I can think of another.
Gray funnel line's all I got.
Gray whistle test.
Ah, good show.
Grey
Good show.
Eagle, come on.
Yeah, baby.
What a beautiful
Great for the
thought
Gray
I
Fries Bobby.
am concerning that gray speckled bird.
Oh, yeah.
Close.
Hey, come on. That's great, Speckled Bird. I know that. No
Oh,
cheating,
I know it's
Derek.
great. That's why I'm going to sing it.
No cheating. There you go.
Happy birthday.
Okay.
Stuart.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for letting me be here.
See you.